Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the three Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video.
Hello everyone, I'm coming to you on December 22nd when the cold blast has come through. The wind shifted last night around 8 or 9 p.m. here, and it was up to 25 mile per hour wind by midnight, I think. And this morning here it was -7 is what my pickup said, and the wind chill was like -36. So I feel for the people up in the Dakotas that have had snow blowing around for a week and now are, getting hit again. And everybody's colder than they are used to. You can see these cattle have already had their feed and eaten up, and they're already huddling in their windbreak. These guys are about to get their feed. Hopefully these guys will clean up. They still got some in their bunks, so I'm up at pins 6 and 7, which are up on the hill, and they make great pins. In the summer they get a nice breeze up on the hill to stay cool, but they're probably the coldest pins right now in the winter. We have windbreak for them on the north side. Those are some old railroad ties stacked. We also put up some bales to help slow down that wind, and you can see that's where they're huddling together behind the windbreak. I'm gonna try to keep them full. I'm gonna go check this water and make sure it's running so they can, have water, have feed. That's their little heaters, so digesting feed. So it'll warm up in a couple days. So hang in there, cattle. There's not gonna be any outdoor filming because my hands would freeze, and I think my phone would freeze and probably just shut off. So those cows and calves were huddled in the trees until they heard the feed truck coming. Now they're pumped. Good work, girls. I'll drive all the way over across the field to you. You deserve it.
Alright, well, I'm not sure if Nathan has been vlogging at all today, but it is currently a wind chill of about I think -35 is what the weather app said, and we're trying to get all the chores done. Kendall is up at his in-laws for Christmas, and so it's Nathan and I and Dad, and it was just Dad and Nathan, but I was recruited for backup because we had a few things go wrong. The feed truck got stuck out here in the field, which maybe we shouldn't have tried to drive it out here. There's not even an inch of snow, but we did get quite a bit of freezing rain last night, and I think that's the wheels were just spinning. So I came out with my truck and we pulled it out. I think they got the chores done for the most part, but my dad's pickup truck is acting up too, so I'm gonna go help him pull it back to the yard in neutral because he got stranded. So we've had a few things go wrong this morning. That's kind of what happens on these cold days. Obviously, it gets colder the farther north you go. I know they're experiencing -60, -70 wind chills in Montana, Canada, places like that. But down here in Kansas, where we hardly ever even get into single digits, we aren't as prepared fuel-wise or water heater-wise, or just all of our infrastructure is not quite as prepared to handle anything below 0. All right, so I'm pulling my dad home in his Dodge with my Ford. Ha ha! Right then, do you think Arwen likes that? Come back! Good to see him laying down. A lot of them chewing their cud. That's good. Sun's out. It's not gonna get very warm today, but at least the sun's out. We got a little bit of sundog action going on. Oh, you can't see the other side, I guess. Cattle are looking a lot more cheery this afternoon after getting some sun on their backs. And ready to eat, pack it in for another night. So we had a pretty good day. Had a little trouble getting the cows. I kind of got stuck with the feed truck trying to feed the cows out on the field, but I wasn't really stuck. I just was spinning and had to have a little help getting going again. But really that was about the only hiccup. Thankfully, I mean, tonight might be pretty bad, and I would expect that we have to help out some waters, get moving again in the morning. We're just thankful, you know, there's just 2 days of this, and then it's supposed to get back to a little more normal winter temperatures for around here. So -8 with 20 plus, 30 plus mile per hour winds definitely is kind of our limits of what we're set up for, but everything went pretty well. The wind just makes it pretty miserable for those cattle. So of course there's lots of places that I mean, everywhere north of here was even colder, and I know they were struggling too, but you know, everywhere is set up for their limits, and every now and then Mother Nature decides to test those. But overall everything has gone pretty well so far, so hopefully tomorrow goes well too. So we've got the cattle fed this morning, and as I kind of predicted, we're having some waters we need to help out. After yesterday, you know, staying below 2 degrees all day or whatever, and staying windy, and then last night was pretty cold again. Most of these, well, we had one heated water that seemed to not quite stay as warm. Hi, Crosby. But Dad was able to get it running again. I'm not sure why it acted up, because the heater was on, but I think that wind was just hard on it. And then some of these aren't heated, they're just insulated. And the problem was yesterday that wind kept blowing, and all the cattle mostly stayed huddled up, and then I think they were eating some snow, and they didn't really go drink water very much. And then when that water's not moving, it gets colder. But so far, I don't think any of the valves even have froze. It's just that they don't keep the balls in these insulated waters. They don't keep them fresh, and so then we have to go kind of loosen them up for them. And I think today will be a lot better. The sun's out. I think they'll all go and drink. So the ones that we're able to put a windbreak a lot closer to makes a big difference. But this one's still catching quite a bit of wind from the northwest. I mean, we just weren't able to quite slow down that wind enough. So I'm gonna have to go help this one out a little. So I'm feeding the cows out here on the field with the tractor today. It's only, oh, what is it? 2.5, 3, well, about 3 miles away, which we've been doing with the feed truck, but yesterday I was slipping a little. Also, the tractor's already warmed up, so I figured I'd just come over here with this. I'm gonna get too hot in this tractor cab. I already took my coat off. Feels pretty good, but as soon as you get out, you cool down real quick. Whoops! They're behind me. Sorry, cows. I don't know if they were in the pasture. They were chasing me like, hey man, where are you going? Come back here. I was going over the hill and I thought, man, where'd they go? Sorry guys. Make us both go farther than we needed to.
They're pretty good about cleaning up the silage off the ground. When it's cold and they're hungry, they are pretty efficient with it. I mean, I guess ideally we'd have some bunks, but then they're always eating in the same spot, and I'd almost rather feed in a different spot every day.
Hurry up, guys. We gotta go and put it back together. Now you guys can go drink some water. They know what we're doing. Alright, so it's Friday, December 23rd, and I'm doing chores today. Nathan's at his family Christmas in Minneapolis, Kansas. Kendall's at his family Christmas in Wathena, Kansas. And so it's me, and there's my dad over there. So Dad and I are holding down the fort, and this should be the last day of really hardcore cold. I think tomorrow it's supposed to be up to 23 degrees or so for a high. So today I think the high was 5, and the wind chill has been in the negatives all day. So today was another pretty rough day. Dad and I, we had to pour hot water on probably 4 or 5 of the waters. We don't have heaters on all of our waters. It doesn't get this cold in Kansas very often, so you know, for a week of the year typically we have to try to work to keep our waters from freezing. So that's kind of the reality of this week. And when you're pouring hot water on the heaters and your hand gets wet as you try to fiddle with stuff, when it's this cold, you can freeze your hands pretty quickly, but it's not too bad when you're in a cab. And honestly, the sun's been out today, and the wind has been down a little bit. So honestly, I probably have had the easiest day of chores of the last 3 days. So I guess I'm thankful for that. So first in the load of ration is some ground hay. And of course, when it's this cold, all of our, power steering and the gear shift, everything just kind of moves slow until the tractor is warmed up enough. We obviously let it run a little bit. We let it run for about 5 minutes before we used it, but it still takes it a while to warm up, which is why I'm taking some time to film while I load. But I put about 1,000 pounds of hay in. So I look over here at this scale, and that way I know how much I put in. Next ingredient, we call these grain screenings or grain dust. This is just what's left over when the grain elevators clean their grain. It's not dirt. It's like the little tiny broken pieces of grain that they clean out of their grain samples. And so it looks, it looks like it wouldn't have any nutritional value. It looks pretty dusty, but it definitely helps as filler with what we're doing. And so we like to use grain screenings as a way to cheapen our feed cost. But they do have some nutritional value as well because it's grain. Our next ingredient is ground corn, or we roll the corn, grind it, whatever you want to call it. It's corn mashed up in little tiny pieces, which makes it easier for the cattle to digest. It'd be kind of similar to, I give my 1-year-old, we give her some like food pouches. It's kind of blended food. I mean, baby food is like blended food. It makes it easier for the babies to digest. So it's similar to that. It's not that cattle can't digest corn, it's just that it works a lot better when you roll it. Next we have distillers, which is like a byproduct of ethanol. So once they've taken what they need out of the grain for ethanol, we get the leftovers, which is actually a very, very nutritious, very good feed product, which is called distillers. So that's what this is. Load about 1,500 pounds of distillers. So that's a pretty big percentage weight-wise. This would be our second highest weight in the feed ration. Corn silage is the most of what we put into the ration. And the cats like to come eat this distillers. They think it's pretty tasty as well. So they come get a snack every once in a while. The final ingredient is silage, which we have a couple different types of silage this year. We've got some corn silage, we've got some sorghum silage, and we have some Milo stalks that we made into silage. So we kind of do a mixture of the different types of silage, kind of take a scoop from each portion of the pile. But that's the main ingredient we always feed all of these cattle is silage. When we talk about a ration, we're talking about a mixture of silage plus a few other ingredients. All right, now that I've got all the ingredients loaded, I've spent the last couple minutes mixing them together in the mixer wagon here, and then I will go ahead and feed. We've got about 10 different pens. This first load I'll feed about 7 of the pens, and then the second load I will feed the last 3. And so we've got a grower 1 ration here that we got these first 7 pens, and then it'll be the grower 2 ration on the last load. See, all the cattle are ready for me to come feed them. All right, my first load is out of the way. Gonna go load my second load. It's nice and toasty in this Kubota M7 cab now. The tractor's warmed up and the heater's running, so that's what's nice about doing chores, is you kind of get to go in and out of cabs, and it's cold outside, but it's pretty nice in the cabs. So my second load is going to be 7,000 pounds. So that's 2,800 in the first pen. We got 1,350 in the second, 2,800 in the third pen. So, and we always load a little bit extra just in case we need it. So I'll go ahead and get the second load loaded. Last pen of the second load, getting fed. I've got the eye of the bovines at dinner time, staring through the sunshine, 'cause I am a farmer and they want to see me chore. All right, that's it for chores on the 23rd. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Hopefully it will be about 20 degrees warmer. And then I think by the 27th, 2 days after Christmas, we're supposed to be in the upper 50s. So, well, I spoke too soon. I gotta get this one back in, standing in the bunk. Come on, man. It's Christmas Eve. Stay in the pen. All right, now I'm done with chores. What do you think? Here's a llama.
Oh, no. Technically, she's only 7 months old.
You're all right. Because your grandmother told me you like. I love her. You're murdered.
Hang on. Casey.
Here, I'll hold it for now.
Greg, this.
Brighton, you love your dog? You love it?
No, because normally I wear a sweatshirt.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.